to Dropbear and Panda.
Save the world.
Episode
55.
Yeah, it's 55. So
Freedom 55.
whoa, like if you had 5 things 11 times, that would be 55. Why do you always give me that look?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We're off the rails already.
Yeah. So episode 55, Dropbear and Panda Save the World. What's going on in the world?
Well, in Canada,
Federal election just started.
that's the news this week.
Yeah, it's big news.
It finally was called.
Yep.
Finally, even though we knew it was coming.
Yep. Prime Minister dissolved Parliament. He went and talked with the whatchamacallit guy, and pew, the government's like, bam. And then suddenly, woo!
Yep, that's exactly how it happened.
That's what I know about politics.
Yeah. And it's funny. I don't want to vote for any of them.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I mean, so the two biggies obviously are the Conservatives and the Liberals, and NDP is really nowhere to be seen.
No.
And I miss Jack Layton. I just would like to put that out there.
Yeah.
And the Green Party, which, you know, people were thinking they might have a chance of, you know, even getting on the map. And then Elizabeth May was shaking hands with the invisible prime minister at the McLeans leadership debate.
Yeah. Well, you know, she was making a point. They all sort of just heaped on the prime minister. I mean, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I heard all about it.
Is that really news though? Like, so
No.
so McLean's puts this leadership debate up, right? It's like a press junket.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go.
No.
It's not like it was a federally mandated, debate.
Well, that's just what he said. He said, I am not going to the
Yeah. Can't go to all of them.
Can't go to all of them. I'm busy campaigning.
Yeah.
Sorry,
doing
guys.
other stuff. And where was he? Edmonton, right? Like,
Yeah, he was in Alberta.
Yeah.
Which is where he actually...
probably should be.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not a fan. Like I said, I don't like any of the leaders.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him for, you know, testing the waters in Alberta and trying to plead his case. I don't blame him for not going to that one.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't going to go. And from what I understand, everyone complained during that televised event that he wasn't there.
Yeah. And
let it go, guys.
And they dogpiled on him. And so instead of talking about the actual things they should, they're just like, oh, Trudeau didn't do this.
Blah,
Oh, Trudeau
blah,
did
blah,
blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're no fans of any of them.
No.
I think we're pretty secure in our belief that pretty much any being that is a politician is, you know, suspect.
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't watched it.
Believe what?
I don't know. I wasn't watching.
Yeah. Especially this time around. Usually I'm like, well, you know, I don't really like any of them, but this guy is, you know,
Yeah.
for the worst of the worst, he's, you know, he's okay.
Yeah.
But this time around, I just don't like any of them.
Yeah.
And
Who's the Indian fella with the turban? What is his deal?
Jasmeet Singh,
Yeah. Which party is he?
NDP.
Is he?
Yes.
See, I didn't even know.
Wow. Okay, at least I'm ahead of you on the ball there.
Because I was like, I'm just like, this is interesting. Like, let's
I'm wondering if people like you should just stay home.
from electing. Well, I need to get up to speed. Obviously, I've just
Yes.
been, you know, in a bubble.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that it's happening, I really have to gotta get up to speed on all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really said boo about anything. I don't think Scheer has said much about anything either. All Scheer has done is say how much the Liberals suck.
Right. Well,
Which is not...
right. It's not a platform.
No, it's not.
And this is, I guess, my problem and why, because I do follow the news. I got rid of all social media off my phone. So I'm just watching news now, like newspapers and Apple News. Like I'm watching the headlines every day and stuff like that. And I've got no clue what the platforms are. Like I don't know which parties are, except for Scheer and Trudeau, really the two big ones. I know Elizabeth May is in there somewhere and she's a bit of a flake. But that's it. Other than that, I've got nothing.
Yeah, I got to do a lot of research. And the thing is like, I know in Alberta, 90% of people here, it seems,
Made up number.
exactly, don't like the Liberals.
Yeah.
Hate Trudeau.
Yeah.
My problem is what I see here are people who just put up memes of Trudeau, his head is cut off and put on a child wearing a dress in front of a bull with a cake and a, like just and they're just making fun of him. But I'm like, this is actually making me not feel bad for him, but you're just making you and conservatives look like idiots. I'm like, you're not helping.
Yeah,
Tell me
schoolyard
why
shit.
the conservatives are good. Don't tell me why liberals are bad. Don't tell me why Justin Trudeau is a whiny, pompous, arrogant, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
You're not making me not want to vote for the liberals.
How about you lead a country?
Exactly.
I thought we were an autonomous collective.
You're fooling yourself. We're living in a dictatorship, a self-perpetuating autocracy in which the working classes...
Oh, there you go, bringing class into it again.
That's what it's all about.
And this is the sort of fast food, anti-social social media agenda, is to just put out all this garbage all the time about the other party instead of being an actual leader.
Yeah.
So, my plea to anybody who's going for office is, how about you fucking lead?
Yeah.
Like, let's get this country back on track. Let's see how we can fit into the world stage better. How we can support other countries around the world. I mean, in this world of globalization where everybody sort of relies on each other to, keep shit moving and keep the human race advancing. Let's do that. That would be a party I would get behind.
Yeah, I mean,
Rise above the bullshit, please.
all I've seen is complaints about SNC-Lavalin.
Yeah.
We get it. We know.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
I know it's still a problem.
Sure.
And it's a huge problem, but
Yeah,
shut the fuck up and do something else.
Yeah.
Complain about something else. Trudeau, I saw a clip where he said to Scheer, like, hello, Andrew, nice to see you. And Scheer basically said, like, hello, liar. And I'm like, well, you're an ass.
Have you ever watched?
You're just a big ass.
Have you ever watched in the parliamentary sessions? Like, they act like children.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
And it happens in our city government too.
Yeah, totally.
It's gross.
It's the most bizarre thing. Like, if you could, and I know probably once you're in it, like, it's just something that happens, right? It's like part of the, but on the outsider looking in, you're like, oh my God, these are the people that are leading the charge. It's like, holy shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, and I wonder if at the beginning they were all normal, nice people. And
I'm sure they were.
This is just what happens.
Yeah.
I was saying to one of my coworkers the other day, to lead a country, to lead a city, to lead a company,
Yeah.
I both am boggled by it,
Yeah.
and I also admire it
Yeah.
because I don't know how people can do it.
Yeah.
There's no way I could.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
It's just, anyways.
It's weird. I want to see people rise above it.
Yeah.
Speaking of people rising above it, this is a total weird non sequitur. How about that Brexit?
Oh, Brexit.
That's a thing that's happening.
Oh.
Just to switch gears a little.
Well, I have no words for that.
There is so much to catch up on, and I'm dizzy.
So every day I go onto Google and
Yeah.
I just Google Brexit news today,
Yeah.
and there's always something new.
What's the latest and greatest?
The latest is the former British Prime Minister David Cameron has released a book, and he was the Prime Minister before Theresa May,
Yeah.
which he voted to remain, but he sort of kickstarted the whole Brexit
right.
thing. And he has apologized profusely.
The subtitle is "Oops."
Yeah, basically. He has apologized profusely for it. He has said that people yell at him in the street for it. Basically, he said that it left him hugely depressed, and he knows that people will probably never forgive him.
Your legacy is fucking up a continent.
Yeah, the left side had a very powerful emotional argument to leave,
Yeah.
while the Remain side had a very strong technical and economic argument And the former, plus the issue of immigration, was a winning combination for the rivals.
Right, but it wasn't even a huge win, right? Like we're talking 52% to 48%.
Yeah, 52 to 48.
Which is an insanely narrow margin.
Yeah, and basically I think the people who said that they wanted to leave used a lot of money as well. I mean, there was the economic thing, but they also said, well, we're gonna save millions and millions and millions of dollars
per week that we'll put into healthcare and all this other stuff.
But what wasn't mentioned was the contracts that they would have to sign to leave, which is why nobody's getting an agreement to leave.
So they
now.
they do this
fucked.
referendum to have this huge monumental choice, and people did not have the actual information to make an informed choice. That's the issue, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember when Brexit happened, 2 days later, they had interviews with people being like, "Is that what we voted for?"
Yeah.
Oh bollocks! Oh no!
Run away! Run away! Run away!
So.
Yeah. Whoops.
Parliament is now prorogued.
Yeah.
There are apparently, I mean, I'm not there.
Yeah.
We'll get to people who are there in a moment.
Yeah.
Protests in the street, apparently. Boris Johnson is a twat.
Yeah.
Is basically what I've heard.
Tell me about him, because he looks like a failed clone of Donald Trump. He looks like they tried to clone Donald Trump with like a toenail clipping, and it didn't quite take. And what's his deal?
A great article from the Globe and Mail called "How Bad is Boris Johnson? We Can't Even Find the Words, but They Do Try." And I'm gonna add that article
we'll
there.
put the link.
Oh yeah,
in the notes. Yeah, that's awesome.
Every day there's something different. But it's just an ongoing mess. I mentioned that I'm not there.
Yeah.
Your son is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's over there right now. So in
London as well.
Yeah.
Smack dab in the middle.
I mean, the positive and negative, he's there he is literally witnessing history right now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's also straight up terrifying. I mean, the UK is not a big place.
No.
There's a lot of people, but it's not a big place. And so, that Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times, that's kind of where we're at. It seems like the last couple of years is we're definitely embroiled in interesting times right now. The geopolitical shifts, the, people making deals and countries trying to, secede from, unions and, all this stuff that's happening. It'd be interesting to see where it goes.
Well, I had mentioned to him before he left, because he had sort of talked about it briefly with me, and he's like, "Yeah, it's apparently there's too many people there to feed everyone.
There's not enough agriculture to.
Nope,
to
there's
feed.
not enough space." And I was like, "Hope you like potatoes." Wasn't there a potato famine a long time
and
ago?
Scotch. They have potatoes and peat.
Yeah. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's happening with Brexit right now. Speaking of the colonies.
Yes.
I saw this headline, which I can't remember it, exactly, but so there's this billions of dollars of drugs got discovered on an island, like a sandbar, basically in Australia, and a seal, like a bull seal or something, actually stopped the one of the drug smugglers from made him got arrested. So he blocked the escape of this drug smuggler. A seal.
A seal.
Yeah, in the middle of this island.
Seal?
I want to say it was like an elephant seal or a bull seal, but it was gigantic. So they basically this drug smuggling boat got marooned on this little island just off of Australia. And so they started putting, billions of dollars worth of drugs under seaweed and shit like that. And so like the Coast Guard or whoever, the police came to sort of try and help these people out. And they discovered these drugs and discovered the smugglers. The runabout was gone. They're like hiding on this island. And when they finally found him, they're chasing after this guy. And this guy's like running across the island to try and get away. I don't know where he's running to. But this seal literally, they're yelling at him to stop and freeze and stuff like that. And there's this big, gigantic sleeping seal who wakes up, sees this dude running towards him, is like,
I think it's an elephant seal.
Yeah,
Yep.
an elephant seal. And the guy's just like, oh, fuck. Does he go through the elephant seal or does he stop and get arrested? So a seal actually, foiled a drug smuggler.
Okay, Google, how big can an elephant seal get?
Northern elephant seal typically has a length of 3.7 meters. Elephant seal species southern elephant seal typically has a weight of 2,200 to 4,000 kilograms.
I would also get arrested. I think.
Right? Like that's crazy. But I thought it was like one of those really funny news items that, first of all, these guys, billions of dollars in drugs. So that's something, right? And then they get, I don't know, like high centered or marooned or whatever on this island. And they can't, get off. So they decide to hide the drugs and they'll come back and get them later.
Yeah.
And end up, during a rescue mission, people discover that they're drug smugglers. Yeah. I love that headline. I'm just like, that's really cool.
You could risk going to jail for like 25 years or possibly get bitten by a giant seal.
Yeah. So like 4 meters, times 3, that's 12 feet.
4 meters.
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Like a meter is 3 feet, just for people that are into imperial. So that's like 12 feet long.
Yeah.
Anyway, big fucking seal.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that was weird news. Anyway,
Well, it might not be an elephant seal. The picture on the article that we'll share is an elephant seal.
I don't think that was the actual seal that did, or maybe it is.
No, it's not. I looked later. It's a 2009 photo of an elephant seal. Okay, Google, what kind of seals are found in Australia?
On the website environment.gov.au, they say, of the seal species found in Australian waters, only the Australian sea lion and the Australian and New Zealand fur seals occur on the Australian mainland and in Tasmanian waters. The others, including the threatened leopard seal and southern elephant seal, are found in Australia's Antarctic territories. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
So Southside. Southside.
Yeah, so, I mean, it seals.
Yeah.
But it must have been a big mofo.
Yeah. Man, you're pretty cool.
For $1 billion worth of drugs?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So they're going to jail. Boy, they'll have a story to tell, though. Hey, what's going on with Area 51? Speaking weird news.
Well, nothing.
What?
Well, I don't know about nothing about Area 51. There could be aliens going in and out of there all day.
Right.
But you know what? We're never going to know. You know why?
Why?
Because September 20th, alien stock canceled.
Really?
It's been canceled.
Wow.
It has been canceled.
That's surprising.
Well, so the organizer sought to avoid becoming Firefest 2.0, also because people die there if they, come across those weapons of, military bases.
What's the deal?
So it was originally supposed to take place September 20th, 22nd. It was clear that the ill-conceived festival wasn't going to happen. It's funny that they call it a festival, because originally it wasn't a festival at all. It was just, hey dudes, let's go see some...
Let's just meet up. It's like a meetup.
Let's go see some aliens, is basically what the guy said.
Filthy heads of our doomed enemies. I gotta sing the doom song now.
So, originally, it was just some sort of a funny idea for a meme page, and it just took off like wildfire. He said, "We will all meet up at the rural Nevada and coordinate our parties. If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see some aliens." But it took off. 2 million people had clicked going, and another 1.6 million had indicated that they're interested.
Jesus.
Now, obviously, most people probably was like, "Haha, this is funny," but there's always a few.
Yeah.
A gentleman, he had died actually in 2019 because he went through the gate and
this year. Jesus.
Didn't listen to anybody saying, stop, turn around, and he was shot by the military police.
Do not try and invade a military base, just saying.
Yeah. So the biggest reason why Roberts dropped his affiliation with the Facebook page was because, I mean, it was a joke. Somebody had died earlier this year. So he's partnered with the mainstream Bud Light Area 51 celebration in downtown Las Vegas.
Interesting.
So there's still a party in Vegas. There are still bands showing up close to the military base because all the little hotels there are still booked up with people who were going to go. Probably not to Area 51.
Well, I wonder if it'll be like a what you call it, like a festival, like a Burning Man festival or something like that. Like they'll just end up somewhere in the desert and do like an alien version of Burning Man. Yeah,
the third weekend of every September or something like that.
That would be fun. Maybe. I'd go to that.
You know what's funny is people will probably be around the aliens anyway. The aliens probably just show up and nobody will know.
That's right. Nice costume, bro.
Yeah, that's super great. Yeah. But and then they'll just get carted back to Area 51. The aliens will finally get out for a party.
Yeah. I think that's important that, aliens party.
Well, I mean, Earth probably isn't that interesting.
Or it's the most interesting place. Maybe it's a vacation destination. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, we'll post we've got a couple articles about it here on the consequence of sound. It actually has his full statement. One part of it says, due to the lack of infrastructure, poor planning, risk management, and blatant disregard for the safety of expected 10,000 plus alien stock attendees, we've decided to pull the plug on the festival.
Wow. I wonder, I would love to know what actually happened to that guy. Like, if he got visited by the FBI, the CIA, the Men in Black, or if he got, the cease and desist dropped from up on high, was he brought up on charges? What mechanism came down and, on this guy?
Oh, he's probably like, I don't know, man. I just started a Facebook
it's
thing.
Just a joke.
It was posted on public, and I don't know, man. I was just smoking too much weed, and
are there legal consequences for this? Is he being brought up on charges for inciting riot? A breach of security? Making plans to infiltrate a military base? There's probably some criminal consequences.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, really, all he. That's not how it started, though, right? All he did was make a joke.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've heard of stories of people being like, my parents are out of town. I'm going to invite a few people over, but they accidentally put it to public.
Yeah.
And then friends invite friends who invite friends. And before you know it, 600 people have showed up and you're fucked, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm curious to, it sounds like... from the outside observer looking in, it sounds like he got spanked pretty good by somebody. He's probably not going to be up on charges actually, because that would, create a whole other thing that probably the military, FBI, CIA, Men in Black, whatever, don't want to have happen.
Oh yeah.
But I'm pretty positive, and he's probably also under
he's being watched now for sure.
Oh yeah, he's on a list. Well done, sir.
Well, and I know that we had mentioned before that the military did put something up that says this is a military installment. Do not come here.
Yeah, you will be shot.
Oh yeah, we will use force.
Yeah,
don't
Crazy.
be an idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's weird news in the world this week.
So we mentioned that you have a son.
Yeah.
Incidentally, you have two.
I do. Yeah. Funny you bring that up. We came across a book. You brought it to my attention, which was amazing.
Most things I do are amazing.
Now it's time for Dropbear and Panda's Reviews.
So this guy, Stephen Kluseritz, and he's from Calgary, he wrote a book called Beat Your Kids. And in parentheses, at sports, games, etc., and other advice for dads. So we got a copy of this book. And it's wonderful. It's it's an easy read. I'm going to buy a couple copies so that when my boys become dads, they'll have this for them. And it's, there's just little snippets of advice, all throughout this thing on how to be a better dad, and how to dad. Don't be afraid about changing diapers.
Cuddle them.
Yeah, cuddle them. If you have a daughter, take her on a date once in a while just so she knows how to be treated, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
use the diaper to wipe first.
And it's funny because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Then
I don't have kids.
Then I
so.
explain the mechanics of it because it's all about efficiency and, it's a big mess, but use that to get the majority of it. And then you can do like the, subtle cleanup stuff like that. Anyway, so there's all sorts of stuff like, every once in a while, beat your kids at a game. Not all the time, but, show them that, A, you're awesome, and B, that they've got to work at it. They're not going to get handed everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a super quick read, and we'll put a link to the book. Happydadding.ca is Stephen's website.
Yeah.
You can also buy it on Amazon, and it is really, really good. Like I was reading it, and I'm just like, yeah, like this is, and a lot of the things I did intuitively as a father. Mm-hmm. And a couple of things I'm just like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like this is just, he's got a really unique perspective on raising kids. Well, maybe not unique, but he just takes it seriously. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. So I give it 5 out of 5 drop bears.
5 out of 5 drop bears.
Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. Drop bear recommended.
So is there anything in that book that you saw that you were like, oh my God, that would have been good to know, or you wish you figured out when you were dadding?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in it, subtle, right? Like
you're smarter than Dropbear, Stephen. Just letting you know.
Page 31, for example, 3 simple words: pick your battles. Right? And that gave me pause because I'm just like, yeah, there's definitely times that I should have heeded that, because you're in the thick of it. Parenting is not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination. Uh-huh. Sometimes you think that the battle you're in is the hill you're going to die on, when in fact, it's not. You should just not even worry about it. Like page 54, it sort of goes with that. Have short memory for the dumb stuff they inevitably do.
That also goes with relationships and marriage and all that stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, things that I don't know that I ever did this, like page 40 is once in a while have ice cream after breakfast. And I'd like to say that I've done weird shit like that, where we've just sort of thrown caution to the wind and done silly stuff.
Yeah.
There's also one, and I don't know which page it is, but, be silly. Right. And that's okay. And I think that my kids will agree if they listen to this episode that I was probably rank up there as one of the top 3 silliest dads on the planet.
I think you still are. So
yeah.
That's interesting. I like that a lot. That dads now can still learn, even though they've already had kids and their kids have grown up.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's not that you're reading this and you're like, oh yeah, done that. You can still look at that and be like, oh, yes, that's a great idea. And
right.
I like that quite a bit. And I mean, I have nephews, right? So
sure, yeah.
When they come over or when I go and babysit them, they're 6 and 9 right now, and their birthdays are coming up.
Yeah.
And I usually let them stay up late and, have extra chips and pop.
Yeah, wind them up.
Yeah, exactly. Give them back or whatever. But the breakfast, the ice cream after breakfast or something is a really cool idea. Because I remember when we were growing up, if we ever had breakfast for dinner, like we're having pancakes for dinner. Oh my God, that was so fun. That was so cool. And it wasn't
like those
really...
weird, those things you remember.
Yeah, it wasn't really super different. But as a kid, that blows your mind. So having dessert after breakfast.
Yeah. Or dessert for breakfast.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah. Huh. Page 77, 3 more words. And I think, so this is a great book to pass knowledge on. Like in this crazy fast food world we live in social media, everybody's staring at their phones and walking around like zombie puppets. Page 77, tell them no. You can do that.
I know
because
you
you're
can.
a parent.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just love this stuff.
So what I like about this book too is a lot of these books and a lot of parenting stuff, they talk about moms, right?
Yeah.
Not that this book can't be geared towards moms and aunts and uncles and whatever, but the fact that it's for dads, it could be for single dads, it could be for dads with a spouse with them, right? But it's just nice that it's for dads, but still technically for anybody.
Yeah,
it's nice. I really like it.
I got another one, which I think if you have younger children, I think this is great. And I don't know that we ever did this. Like so when I was putting the kids to bed, even though they're restless, I would always read. So I read them stories every single night, but. And sometimes they're wiggly and stuff like that. And, it was hopefully through reading to them that they calmed down. And
who's the wiggliest?
I'm not going to say.
Damn it.
Yeah. But I love this. So page 92, kids need to burn off energy. If we had a slow day, we put some music on before bed and let them run wild. We called it crazy time. And they drop into their beds immediately after. So if you've had so the kids are wound up, instead of trying to fight it, lean into it, put on some music, have some crazy time until they exhaust themselves, right? Let them burn off that energy. I think it's brilliant. This is it's genius. I love it.
Perfect.
Page 97, teach your kid to hold doors open for others. So it's not for women, it's just other people. So if you have an opportunity to help somebody, do it. Hold a door open for somebody. So I like it. This is just...
Now, we don't want to read the whole thing because then that keeps people from, buying the book.
It is chock full of amazing advice and poignant. And I'm not going to, and the last one on 106, I'm not going to read that one out. You'll have to buy the book to see it. I really like Stephen's approach to dadding.
The last page was whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a gooder.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you have the opportunity, go to happydadding.ca or Amazon, look for Beat Your Kids, parentheses, at sports games, etc., and other advice for dads.
The other thing I just want to mention when I saw that it was called Beat Your Kids, the other thing I thought of was not just beat your kids at sports and games and stuff. I also thought of the twist of beat your kids, don't let them beat you.
Right.
Because it's advice on how to survive fatherhood, basically, and stay intact. So
I like it. Anyway, 5 out of 5 Dropbears. Dropbear recommended reading list. Dropbear, buy it for your kids when they become dad's list. He's on all the lists.
5 out of 5 Auntie Pandas.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bam.
So check it out. We'll put links in the show notes.
Guess what we're also going to give Stephen?
Oh, yeah. Let's give him some socks from the Friday Sock Company.
There you go.
Hey, speaking of Friday Sock Company.
Here's a word from our sponsor.
Reach for the top, reach for the socks, those Friday socks. Friday socks, ethically made. Dropbear and Panda, love them, love them. Friday socks, designed in Canada, perfectly mismatched, freaky, freaky, freaky. Reach for the top, reach for the socks, those Friday socks. Reach for the top, those Friday socks,
Oh, hey, so here's the thing from the Telegraph. Just to, speaking of music and stuff like that, that Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney are going to reunite to record a John Lennon song discovered on lost demo tape. You like the Beatles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's going to happen. Sir Ringo Starr has teamed up with Sir Paul McCartney to record a version of a lost demo written by John Lennon less than a year before his death. Lennon penned Grow Old With Me during the sessions for Double Fantasy, the final record he made before he was shot and killed outside his Manhattan apartment on December 8th, 1980.
That's a interesting title of a song for a guy who got shot and had an untimely death.
Yeah, we'll file that under irony.
Yeah.
I guess.
I feel bad that that's the first thing I thought of when you said that that's what the song was.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we always look for links and connections to stuff. But I thought, so that's interesting. So there's always something going on with the Beatles. There's that, what's that movie I want to see? Yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, I totally want to see that. So maybe we can watch that this week.
Yeah, we were going to watch it the other night, but we were like,
yeah, not quite ready for it.
Maybe. What did we watch instead?
Oh, man. Beverly Hills Cop. 1984.
Yep.
It was great.
It was still good.
Yeah. We were thinking to ourselves before we were watching it, will this hold up? Because we've watched some movies that just do not stand the test of time that you want to, but they just don't. But it was great.
Yeah. It was still really quite good.
Eddie Murphy, fantastic.
Yeah. His friend was weird though at the beginning.
What do you mean?
The guy who dies to kick off the whole. Yeah. He was. Yeah.
Judge Reinhold was amazingly awkward.
I find it weird that that's his name. Okay, Google, what has Judge Reinhold been in?
Judge Reinhold's movies include Be Still, Four Eyes and Six Guns, and 78 others.
Oh, do you know that he
78?
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh God.
Right? So if you recall, Sean Penn was Jeff Spicoli.
Yeah.
Mr. Hand. And speaking of Jeff Spicoli, wasn't Sean Penn in Between Two Ferns?
Yeah, we just saw that too.
So we binge watched Galifianakis Between Two Ferns, like all 20 episodes or whatever, back to back. It was so good.
It was so awkward.
Yeah.
But really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
What was your favorite one?
The Brad Pitt one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's was good.
Tell me what it was like the first time that you laid eyes on Angelina. Was it like one of those classical love stories, like when Ross first saw Rachel? You know that show, Friends? Have you seen that?
I like that song.
Charlize
Theron's was good. Bradley Cooper's were all good.
Yeah. I love the fact that I love that his hair started looking more and more like Bradley Cooper's the longer it went on, and I wonder if that was on purpose.
I don't know. His hair changed like every time.
Yeah. Anyways, it's super cool.
Yeah, they were cute.
Yeah, so there we'll put links to all that stuff. That's our media recommendations.
It's time
for Dropbear and Panda
to save the world.
So, saving the world this week, there's a couple things, actually. So, you've stumbled across a story about this kid who won a trip to Disney World.
Yeah, I thought it was freaking adorable. So, I stumbled upon it completely by accident. I actually stumbled across a couple stories. As everyone probably knows, Hurricane Dorian smashed through the Bahamas and Florida and not Alabama.
It even smoked Nova Scotia, didn't
it? Just went up the entire East Coast, smoked Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Jeez.
Anyways, this kid was saving a whole bunch of money to go to Disney World. He spent what money he had been saving for the trip to the theme parks on hundreds of hot dogs, chips, and water to speed evacuees in Florida who had fled.
How old is this
7.
kid? 7-year-old.
This kid is 7. And this is on CNN. His name is Jermaine. And Disney heard about this and surprised him with a free vacation.
It gives me the warm fuzzies.
After using the money he'd saved for the trip for the Florida theme parks to buy food for Hurricane Dorian evacuees, Disney Magic Maker surprised Jermaine with a free vacation.
Outstanding.
I
well
thought
done,
that was
Dorian.
So adorable.
Sorry. Well done, Jermaine. That's
Jermaine.
Yeah. I was going to say Dorian. Well done,
Way
Dorian.
to go.
Oh, God.
Because, if it wasn't for the hurricane, he wouldn't have gotten his free vacation.
and well done, Disney Magic Makers. That's awesome.
I know. I
That's
thought
sweet.
that was super cute.
I like that.
Another good news story that I saw, which isn't good news, but turns into a good news thing. There was a kid, Braden Austin, age 8. He ended up needing a liver transplant and got very, very sick and couldn't find a donor. His nurse stepped in.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And gave him like a lobe.
Yeah, in Children's Hospital in Milwaukee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
that's
yeah.
incredible.
So, I know, isn't that like so? Despite the fact that there are a lot of assholes out here, because usually you hear about all the jerks in the world,
Yeah.
like there are some pretty fucking amazing people out there.
Hey, speaking of amazing people, we know somebody here in town. Her name is Susan Rowland.
Yes,
And she does a thing every year.
oh my God! Like,
So
how amazing is this?
Yeah, so she works with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
And she goes, I think this year she's going to Honduras.
Yes. So she is participating in her 4th Global Village trip.
Amazing.
And she's going to Honduras this November. And she is doing a fundraising thing.
Yeah.
To raise money for Habitat to Humanity to get her down there to build houses for people in Honduras.
That's awesome. So 4th year in a row, Susan, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Keep that shit up. So we'd like to, obviously contribute to the fundraiser.
Yep. That's how we're saving the world this week.
Yeah. And we would like to encourage our listeners to do the same.
We will add some links here.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things that, it doesn't take a lot to support people like this that make the world a better place and make it better for others.
So I just want to give some background.
Yeah.
Habitat's Global Village is an international volunteer program that sends Canadians around the world to work hand in hand with families who lack a safe and decent place to live. This program, which has been building in momentum over the last 10 years, has resulted in 950 affordable homes being built in 47 countries.
Oh my God.
She has built in Chile, Guatemala, and El Salvador.
And coming up next,
Like,
Honduras.
Holy crap. So they also finish homes through minor additions such as wooden stoves, latrines, water filters, wooden doors and windows.
I love it.
Screens, it's freaking cool.
That's
Like,
awesome.
good
Well
for
done,
her.
Susan.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wicked.
So we're going to donate to that. We're going to also add links.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yay. Anyway, I've been Dropbear.
I've been Panda.
And this has been Dropbear and Panda.
Save the world.
Episode
55.
Yeah. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, Google. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Wow.
Sometimes she's, just straight and to the point. And sometimes she ignores me.
Sorry, what?
Damn it.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, the Friday Sock Company.
This podcast was recorded at the Dropbear and Panda Kensington studio.
Special thanks to Emery Cords for the kick-ass theme music.
Don't forget to subscribe.
It's Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, yeah. Dropbear and Panda, coming at you, Panda. Coming at you like a locomotive on a motherfucking bender. Yeah, tap my culture, now my chap, follow me. Yeah, with Michael Doggies, yeah, you be checking on the flow, yeah. Checking flow, choose quick, you can't pick my medical ranges, angles, tangles. You get tangled, twisted side efflections, child should be. Can't compete with the owls that devour. Yeah, with the owls that devour, yeah. Yeah, it's a Dropbear and Panda, coming at you right